Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Breakdown of the Day. My name is Drex, and today is going to be a very special episode. Not only will we be featuring a super brutal breakdown, but we'll also be having a special guest on the show. So stick around to find out what's happening on Breakdown of the Day. Before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Como Chingas. Are you tired of paying exorbitant prices for gas? Are you not feeling gassy enough? Have no fear, my friends. Como Chingas will save the day. With super low gas prices across the board, you'll be driving across town just for these prices. Starting at a miraculous 20 pesos per gallon, you can finally go on your dream vacation to Burbank, California. Founded by Harry Comochin himself, he not only revolutionized the oil and gas industry, but he will revolutionize your wallets as well. Como Chingas uses a synthetic blend of ethanol, diesel, petrol, and compost to deliver a high performance and long lasting product that will save you thousands. Como Chingas, the fuel of tomorrow. All right. Welcome back, my fellow downers. Glad you're with us today. And as I mentioned a bit earlier, we have a very special episode planned for you today. Now, for those of you who have known me for a while, you know that this series, Breakdown of the Day, actually first started back in 2007. Crazy, right? I mean, we started this series on YouTube when it was in its infancy. And back in those days, YouTube videos were wild. And looking back at it now, it really felt like the wild west of YouTube. I mean, the quality video was probably 360p, and it still felt like you were tripping on acid while watching it. And amidst all the chaos, in a small corner of the website, there sit two guys in front of a table with an old broken boombox talking about their favorite breakdowns. This was the inception of Breakdown of the Day in video form. And that's right, you heard correct. There were two of us. I was not alone in my endeavors with the show, and my co host was none other than Kevin M. Fuentes himself. And today, sitting directly across from me in our multi-million-dollar studio, is the man, the myth, and the legend himself, Kevin M. Fuentes, everybody. Give him a round of applause, everybody. All right, Kevin, welcome back to the show, man. So good to have you here.
Hey man, thanks. It's great to be here. Really, really glad you started these up again, and happy to be part of it today. That was a great intro. Thanks.
Yeah, not a problem, man. So it's been quite some time since we've done an episode together. How long has it been? Like what, like 15 years?
Yeah, something like that. Dang, time flies. Last time we were doing these was when we lived together in Chino Hills, way back in the day.
Hmm.
Good memories those were. I really miss those times.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. It those were definitely some good times, and we'll always have the fondest memories during that time when I was out there with you guys. So obviously, the format has changed, and we're not sitting in front of a camera and doing skits yet. But what would you say was your favorite part about being a co-host on the show?
Oh man, I have lots I can say about my favorite parts of doing the show. As cheesy as it sounds, though, I think honestly my favorite part was being able to laugh and have fun with you and making all those stupid skits that we made back then.
Yeah.
Whatnot was always super hilarious. I'm sure you remember. But it was fun sometimes because my little sister Megan would join us and help us out making all those stupid skits too. I don't know if you, I'm sure you remember that.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some good memories. But aside from that, I truly do have a love for hardcore slash metal music, and being able to share that love of the breakdown with others while also exploring new music in the genre was always really cool too.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. You always got to have a strong love for the breakdowns. So I got to ask you this: have you been keeping up with the Kardashians?
Yeah, Yes. No, I'm just kidding. No, absolutely not. I don't like. Well, no. Ugh. My sister Ashley used to watch that show all the time growing up, and I hated it. I do think it's pretty cool that Kim went to law school, though. I respect that. But besides that, no, I don't
I'm
really
so
keep up with it.
I'm surprised that you even know that much about her.
Yeah, I saw that headline once or twice. I'll be honest. I was like, "Oh, that's
Oh man.
cool."
I mean,
Yeah.
so what I really meant to say was the breakdowns. Have you been keeping up with the breakdowns and like the metal community and all that sort of stuff?
Shoot, you got me there. Yeah, I would say it happened. Not as much as I'd like. But I've always been a metalhead at heart, and the love for the breakdown has always been there since I was like 12. So it certainly has never left me. Certainly, the past, I would say 6 months to a year, especially, I've really been getting back into metal and hardcore, and that's mostly what I listen to lately. So yeah,
Nice, man. Very nice. Yeah, you gotta every once in a while, it's you gotta take a nice little break, but it's always
yeah.
good to see that you're back on the right path. So
To the tree of life.
exactly. So
It's so funny.
a true hardcore kid and a metalhead at heart. So let me ask you this. We've obviously showcased a number of different bands and breakdowns on the show, of all the different kinds of all of the different kinds of breakdowns that are out there. What would you say makes the best kind of breakdown?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I mean, it changes for me a lot. Depends on my mood, time of the year, and what I've been listening to lately. I have been pondering this a lot the past few days. I think that, especially with my background as a drummer,
Hmm.
I really do appreciate a breakdown that is fast paced and technical, which, funny enough, is kind of the opposite of what we're featuring here today,
Okay.
for good reason. But I really do enjoy a faster tempo, especially a more technical type of breakdown, something like the Faceless or Born of Osiris, which I'm sure we'll feature eventually on the show.
Hmm.
Oh man, those breakdowns get me super pumped, and I love that stuff. Odd time signatures are the best.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that too, because right before we started preparing for this episode today, I was actually looking into a Born of Osiris breakdown, and I was like, "Oh, what
Nice.
are they up to right now?" I was like, "Oh, they got another album, like another." And then they
Dude,
got
they're still
so
putting out amazing stuff like
yeah,
today. It's
yeah.
amazing.
They really a
Yeah.
hardworking band, and they definitely
Yeah.
deserve all the praise. So yeah, no one can argue that those fast breakdowns are those are some of my favorite breakdowns as well. But again, like there are exceptions to the rule. So
Absolutely.
now, from what I understand, you had some very important information that you wanted to share with us. Now, what exactly did you want to share with the class, Mr. Kevin?
Oh boy. Very simple, and that is the Acacia Strain.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh, oh man, such a classic band in the genre. Anybody who loves breakdowns, you will love this band. If you love brutality, you will love this band. They are so brutal and so absolutely incredibly heavy. I mean, you can listen to some of their songs and it literally sounds like you're listening to a breakdown the entire time. But I say that in the most complimentary way because it's just so beautiful, so simple, and very much still their own style and sound. The Acacia Strain does not sound generic in any way, shape, or form. You hear a couple of their songs, you know it's them. The tone of the guitar, the drum signature, the sound of the drum, the bass drum, everything is a recipe that few bands can truly master to the level of the Acacia Strain. So this song in particular is called "The Mouth of the River" and is off their 2012 album "Death Is the Only Mortal." I chose this breakdown in particular for a funny reason, actually, because back when I was working the crappiest job I've ever had in my entire life, which was delivering packages for Amazon back in the summer of 2020,
Oh man.
Brian remembers those
Yeah.
conversations. Ugh.
Mhm.
That's a story for a different day. I would sit there in my hot van after a hard day's work, driving back to the station after delivering over 300 packages on a hot summer day all throughout
Jesus
Southern
Christ.
California. It was nuts. It was nuts. But I hated it. Well, I hated the company especially. Um, and I would blast this album and this song in particular on the way in the van on the way back home. and it would help me release my anger at Amazon and Jeff Bezos and this crappy job in general. It was very
you
therapeutic.
can't have an Amazon without Jeff Bezos. So I mean, you're
Dude,
technically correct there.
oh, yes, dude. After I quit that job, I canceled my Prime membership. But anyways, dude, 100%, 100%. I, I really did, and but yeah, it was very therapeutic for me. It was great. Amazon sucks. More on that later. But yeah, this song is just overall so good. But with that said, so without further ado, hailing from Chicopee, Massachusetts, and started in 2001, this is the Acacia Strain.
Grasping for reality and shaking my head. I don't need sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Just when I thought it was over, they found the bodies in the mouth of the river. Fuck. Sick once more. I hate their hearts. Sick once more. I hate their hearts. She was shot in the days growing colder with lips to shiver. I lost all I know at the mouth of the river.
Wow, the Acacia Strain. What a
Oh, dude.
yeah. That's such a good breakdown, man. Yeah, what a
I know.
throwback. What a
Yeah.
throwback.
Yeah.
Always will be a solid band. So, little known fact, but the intro in the beginning of each of these videos is actually an Acacia String song. Kevin, you actually know that too.
Of course.
Yeah, we picked that out at the very beginning. And another fact, our very first episode when we started, this thing way back when, was the same song in the actual intro. It was called C Word. So it seems everything has come full circle, just like my gut when I eat 3 California burritos. And another fact, another fun fact,
That's so stupid.
what really gave us our start back then was because of the Acacia Strain.
Yep.
Um, yeah, this was when
True
MySpace
story.
was real big, and at the time they had a presence there. They had like their own page with their music, so you could actually just go over there and message them, and what they'd be able to see it. So at the time, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a gamble, and I sent them the video. Once we finished like uploading the video to YouTube, I just said, "Fuck it, we'll do it live," and I sent the video to them via their MySpace.
I remember
Um,
that.
yeah, and a couple
Yeah.
days have passed, and they ended up sharing it as a post and included a link to it and everything. So it was really nice of them. They seemed to enjoy it. I remember the lead singer Vincent. He was saying that his favorite part was when we got pizza during the first episode. Like we stopped everything and we're like, "Pizza's here!" And so,
Shoot, you remember? I remember that too,
yeah,
dude.
oh yeah. And
Oh,
he cracked up over that. So it was just the coolest thing that they would be able to, they supported, their fans in that manner. But because of that, all of their fans were able to see it, and they subsequently were linked to the video and they watched it, and then that's kind of how we got our start that way.
yep.
Um, and that's just really the coolest thing. And another fun fact, the band actually had played a show at a venue near us. Kevin, I don't know if you remember this, but they were playing at the Glass House over in Pomona.
I do.
And yeah, it was right around Valentine's Day. And man, that was just such an awesome show. And we actually ended up at that show. And what happens next will leave you completely stunned. So stay tuned, folks. Anyway, I got to throw a clickbait in there somewhere. So that's about as
Do
good
it.
as it's going to get.
Right.
Anyway, thanks, Kevin. For joining us on the show, man. You'll always be welcome here as long as you have our fix, aka the juicy, crunchy breakdowns. So before we call it a day, where can the masses check you out? Like, what do you got going on that you want to tell the downers?
Shoot. Well, thank you, Brian. Let me start. Well, hey, well, thanks, Drex. I appreciate it. You guys can definitely hit me up on my gaming YouTube channel. Just YouTube search Kevin_gaming, which is super creative, I know. Right now, I'm mostly playing Battlefield 22 for the memes, but that probably will change soon since everyone is quitting that game and it kind of sucks
Oh
anyways.
my god, tell me about it. That game
I
sucks.
know, dude. It really does. It's a shame, but I also have a tech channel too. If you're interested, Kevin_tech. I don't post that too often, but come and say hi. I would really appreciate it. Love to hang out with you guys. And thanks again for having me, Drex. Look forward to being on here again soon. And maybe I will have you as a special guest on my channel eventually. That would be
Oh,
cool.
yeah, it sounds awesome, man. That sounds like a lot of fun, to be honest. Looking forward to it. Now, be sure to check out Kevin on his YouTube channel. It's Kevin_gaming, and his tech channel as well. If you're into like the technology these days, that's also going to be Kevin_tech. So be sure to check him out. Give him all the love. Also, if you like this episode, be sure to do all the crazy shit with the buttons and you're pushing and whatever. So thanks again for being on the show, man. And with that, peace.